you care way too much about her. You're over pursuing, right? You're doing way too much contact. You're doing way too much checking in with her. You're initiating contact with her all the time. You're trying to make sure that your attraction with her is still high. You're trying to constantly see where her attraction is, right? AKA checking the temperature. This is exactly why guys over pursue women. They're constantly trying to hit her up. It's not because they actually want to talk to her. It's because they want to see if her attraction level is still high. Let me tell you something. By you doing that, it's going to make the complete opposite of what you're trying to do. Because at that present moment, you're not acting like a man should act. And you could tell me all of this shit, all of this hippie stuff about men and women don't have roles. You will quickly find out the hard way, I might add, how badly that is going to backfire on you. Because the more you care, the more you're in your emotion, so to speak. Because when you're over pursuing, when you're over checking on her, what you're doing is you're using a shit ton of emotions, right? You're more into your emotional side, and all men have emotions. We're not robots. I'm not a robot. I have emotions. I feel pain. I feel sadness, all of that good stuff. With all that being said, though, this is something that's supposed to be handled, right? We're the more logistical ones, the more logical ones. So for you to be constantly, hey, sweetie, are you there? Right? Hey, good morning, sweetheart, with a little emoji on a side. Okay. Every single day, on the hour, every hour, you trying to check up on her attraction because you care way too much. And this is going to backfire on you. And what you'll start seeing is you'll start seeing the chick you're doing this with, you'll start seeing her pull back, right? You'll start seeing her just not want to spend time with you. You're going to see her being disrespectful. You're going to see her not valuing the time that she spends with you, right? You're going to see her not being not being eager to spend time with you. This is all symptoms that you're going to see. And this is not the end all be all, right? Sometimes chicks just, with their emotions, she might just fade away, right? I'm sorry. This is going in a grim direction. It is what it is though, right? But a lot of times, man, if a female is hooked to you, if she is attached to you, that's not going to happen. And the reason why caring too much is destroying the attraction is because you're not giving her enough time to care about you. Does that make sense? You're not giving her enough time to reach out to you. You're not giving her enough time to wonder about you. Fellas, the time that you are not with her, the time that you are not in contact with her, now big caveat, she has to actually be attracted to you. You have to actually be a guy that she is actually attracted to you, right? Physically, mentally, sexually, all that good stuff. Okay. But that time that you're not with her, the time you're not in her presence, right? The time you're not contacting her, because we're not on this channel. If you watch this channel, we're not contacting young ladies just for the sake of having a hour conversation with her throughout the day, right? We contact young ladies when we want to meet up, when we're trying to get a drink, when we're trying to get something going, right? That's when we contact young ladies. You feel me? But that through that time, and you'll start seeing that she's the one that's gonna start contacting you first. And I'm gonna get to that. Okay. But that time when you're not spending time with her, right? Let's say you and her had a good night. Okay. The conversation was great. You were cool, calm, collected. You weren't really sweating her too much. Then you beat it out the box. Okay. Now you're not in her presence anymore. Take that time to give her space and silence. Okay. This is not a manipulation tactic. This is the way shit goes. See, the reason why, let me tell you guys something. The reason why what I'm saying sounds like some kind of strategy is because this society has messed up the dynamic so much between men and women that acting masculine seems like some type of class or some type of session. That's how bad it got, right? This is why a lot of guys see this type of stuff as a tactic. It's not a tactic. It only seems that way because we've been programmed to believe that men should act like big bumbling pussies. That's the only reason why. This is the natural way of things. And even females will disagree. Oh no, he has to check on me 24/7, right? Because they be watching these corny ass TikToks and IG memes and all that good stuff. So they think that that's how the man supposed to behave his damn self, right? But they quickly realize, hey, look, this guy he's not sweating me like 90% of the guys, right? He's actually giving me time and space like a man is supposed to. So this is what's going to happen when you're not in her presence, right? When you just finished a good little night, you go home. You're not going to text her, hey, I had a great night with you. You're not going to text her, hey, I made it home safe. I made it home safely. Are you doing good, my sweetheart? Do you still like me? That's what you're communicating. When you don't, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to go home and we're going to give her time to think about the whole night. We're going to give her time to think about the conversation, about the sex, about the good time she had. We're going to let her mind marinate on that. And bam, before you know it, the next day or two, right? 2, 3 days. Some chicks might take a little longer, okay? Some chicks might take a little longer because some of them will actually be fighting, right? They'll be fighting their true feelings, okay? Because of what they heard on a stupid ass TikTok video, okay? But after like 2 days, 3 days, after the next day, if she was really feeling you, give her that time you gave her. Guess what? Guess what your phone is gonna do? Bing! You're looking at your phone. Message from Crystal. Whatever, we're gonna say Crystal. Message from Crystal. Here's what Crystal's saying. Hey, I had a really great time last night. Hey, I had a really great time with you. Well, would you look at that? She's the one that reached out to you. She's the one that told you how much of a great night she had. Oh my God. Why did I not? And y'all gonna be like, damn, why did I not think of this before? Why did I not? I wish I knew this from earlier in my life. Because this is the natural order of things. And let me tell you guys something, that time and space that you are away from a woman is when her emotions and her mind start thinking, you know, the mind and her emotions and her mind and her kitty all connect. So when her mind is thinking about you, her emotions is thinking about you, her kitty is thinking about you. Fellas, did you know? I'm gonna drop a gem. And for all my ladies, you know, ladies, if you're a real young lady, man, write in the comment section. Did you know if a chick is really into you and you giving her that time and space for her to miss you, right? You're giving her the gift of thinking about you, of wondering about you. She will get wet just thinking about you. That's how powerful a woman's imagination is. That's how powerful her mind and emotions is. So when she does reach out to you, right? Just like Corey Wayne, the dating coach, shout out Corey Wayne, because look, I have no shame in saying that I got a lot of tips from him because he be speaking the truth. I don't agree with 100% of the shit he be saying, but a lot of stuff he says, right? And the analogy he gives is, it's like when you give a woman time and space away from you, it's like letting the cake in the oven, right? And what most guys do is before the cake is nice and fluffy, nice and cooked and ready to eat, what do? They pull that motherfucker out the oven. AKA, they contact her before she even has the time to think about it. The very next day, they're contacting her. Not even the very next day, the very next hour. Hey, I had a great time with you. You ain't letting the cake sit in the motherfucking oven, right? You need to let it sit in the oven after some time. Hey, look, ding, the cake is ready. Bing, Your phone goes off. Hey, look, it's Crystal. It's Crystal talking about how much of a good time she had with you. And that's what you want, right? That's the natural order of things. And let me tell y'all something. A woman, bro, when she's extremely attracted to you and you gave her enough time and space to think about you, all those little corny TikToks that she be watching talking about, oh, you need to you need to let the man kiss the ground you walk on and never hit him up and don't ever call him. That shit goes out the window. That shit goes out. They're like, man, F this broad on TikTok. I'm not listening to her. I'm going to text this dude because I just can't wait. Right? I just cannot wait. I want to see him. I want him inside of me. Point blank. So I'm not going to wait for him to hit me up. Because when a woman is when a woman is very attached to you, right? She is going to throw everything out the window. But you have to, like I said, you have to not care so much. And I'm not talking in a callous type of way, and like a way where you're like, man, F her. I don't F these broads and females and stuff. I'm not talking in that sense. I'm talking in not caring too much. You're not putting in above an unnecessary effort when the whole time the only thing you had to do was sit back and let the attraction do the work. Right? All you had to do was sit back and let the attraction do the work. This is where the magic happens, fellas. The magic happens when you just sit back and you don't care too much. This is why a lot of guys, you know, they're starting to wake up and they were scratching their head like, wait a minute, this chick is going after this guy that barely even text her. Right? She's complaining. Yeah, a lot of guys, and myself included, I would always hear these chicks complaining about a guy and complaining about how he mistreats them. So, not telling you guys to mistreat women, right? Once again, but they like, he never does this, and I never hear from him. And I'm thinking in my head like, so why are you still fucking with him? And that's exactly why, because she is putting in that extra effort. She's wondering about him. He has her wondering about him. And this is that attraction. This is how female attraction works, fellas. That wondering about you, that trying to figure out, hey, look, does this guy even like me? Females will literally ask that. Does this guy even like me? And that's a good thing. Fellas, if a chick asks you, do you even like me? That should be music to your ears. And I know it sounds backwarded. I know a lot of young ladies are going to disagree, right? You can't tell me my experiences. You can't disagree with my experiences. They're going to be like, oh, that's only insecure chicks and stuff. No, it's just, like I said, we've been programmed so backwarded that that stuff that should be natural seems like it's some kind of, strategy or something, when that's really just a natural flow of shit. If she's asking, do you like me? That is great news. That means she is looking up to you. That means that's how it naturally should be. Right? It should naturally be the woman like, hey, look, I'm not sure. Do you even like me? Am I even... That's her trying to gain your value. That's attraction. Believe it or not. You can believe it or not. Right? Because let me tell you something. If you cared way too much, the chick already knows. She's like, there's nothing about him that's mysterious. I don't have to ask him if he likes me. Because I already know he's going to do anything that I want. Anyway, with that being said, I hope this video helped. Peace.